there, Liam. This is your video lesson for today. There are 5 things I want to talk about. I'll go down the list, and as usual, if you have a question or want me to look at anything, I'll be more than happy to reply back. So cool. So first thing is technique. We're going to go over string bending. We talked a little bit about it last time when you were in with Evan and me. So let's go over that technique one more time. That's going to be really important. It's kind of a piece that we've been missing since you were doing like rock on a classical guitar. Classical guitar doesn't really lend itself too well to string bending. I think I can think of one spot. I was taking a master class with Sharon Isbin from Juilliard, and the piece was written for her, El Decameron Negro, and I was playing the first movement, and she said there's a string bend in there's a little string bend in there that she had added. That's like the one spot I can think in classical guitar that there is a string bend in, off the top of my head. But on electric guitar though, in blues rock style, you see it all the time. Even in shred, you'll see string bends, not as much as blues rock style though. Anyway, so the technique, what we're going to do is we're going to go here to the 7th fret. So we're going to be an A minor pentatonic, box 1. We'll move it to E minor for our purposes, but box 5, or A minor box 1 is a good spot to start on the neck. All right, we're going to go to the 3rd string, 7th fret. So we're going to need that scale right there. All right, and what you're going to do is you're going to throw. First thing is you throw the thumb over top, right? That'll make the wrist pop up here a little bit. So if your wrist pops up, that's totally fine. That's in the style of this music. So you have that right there. And then what you do is you put your ring finger on that spot. You have the 2 other fingers helping out. And if you notice here, these fingers are angled back towards myself. So your fingers, your nails should actually be facing towards you or pointing toward yourself. What you're gonna do, and on this guitar right here, my other guitars, I'm fixing it right now, so I'm using this one. If I push up too hard, this bridge is gonna slide up to this way, so I'm not gonna push very hard on this guitar, but I'll give you kind of the idea. So what we're gonna aim for is called a half-step bend. Half step just being 1 fret on the guitar. So when I bend this 7 right here, I'm aiming for this note, the note on the 8th fret. So I play the note, that's the note I'm aiming for, that's on the 8th fret. I'm gonna scooch back down here to 7. And see if we can bend it up to that pitch. When you do string bending, you want to bend to a specific pitch. That's one way I can spot like someone who's kind of just fiddles around with the guitar rather than someone who's trained, is that their string bends won't be towards any particular pitch. They'll just be kind of like a random, like, right? They're not bending to a specific pitch. There it is. Right? Only going higher on that guitar, on this guitar. You know, a fun afternoon for me. Putting this bridge back in place. Right. So what you do is you put the thumb over top, the 3 fingers in line right here, ring finger. You're gonna push up with all 3, and you push up and you're gonna aim. Right. And then what you can do when you practice down there, move it up here to E minor box 1, same spot right there, 3rd fret. This time I'm going to be on the 14th fret right here. So see what I do is I play the note and then I bend, see if I can match it. So I'm on the 15th fret to hear what the pitch sounds like. I scooch back down here to 14 and bend up. Do down here, same thing, box 5, or sorry, A minor at fret 5, box 1. Getting that pitch. So practice those 2 spots right there. You don't want your fingers to flex. You don't want your fingers to hyperextend. You want to keep them flexed. If you notice, when I push up right here, my fingers don't flatten out. My fingers are still flexed, right, in this position right here. You push up and the wrist will pop up just a little bit, but that's what it'll look like. So practice that for me. Next thing is on your E minor pentatonic, practice the 3-note sequence on the top 4 strings. So starting from here. Right? Practice doing 3-note sequences there. The reason why we're working on all this in E minor is because when we solo over top of Born on the Bayou, or when you solo over top of Born on the Bayou, you'll be using E minor pentatonic. You could also use Mixolydian pentatonic, but we haven't gotten there yet. And then the other thing is your question, Born on the Bayou, the rhythm. It basically sounds like this. One cool thing that Suzuki and like rock pedagogy kind of share is the ear. I could write all those rhythms out for you, but it looks so complex. You spend half your time sitting there trying to like clap it out. The best thing to do is do the same approach with your Suzuki training as with your rock training. That's what the great benefit of you having Suzuki training is, that you have a well-developed ear, more than the average if you just done like a traditional approach in classical guitar, say like the Node method or something like that, or the Royal Conservatory books, is that they focus heavily on note reading right away, versus you have a lot of this going on in the beginning. So when you go to rock, it's not that bad as someone who doesn't have your background. So that's good that you have that. The rhythm is, so try clapping that along with me doing it right now. I'll do it one more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Bum, 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 bum. I'll play it one more time. When coming up with strum patterns, what I do is I listen to the drummer. The drummer is key. You just listen for those hits, and as long as you're following the drummer's hits, we'll do this in your lesson on Tuesday. Is it Tuesday? Yeah, you'll be on Tuesday. I'll show you kind of what to listen for. So we'll put the recording on and see if you can kind of like groove with the drummer a little bit. Because strum patterns, you can kind of change them up. But this one, bunch of different things in there. And the recording, they don't do just like one thing all the way through. They kind of have a groove that they go with, and they can kind of expand upon that. So it's not like here's the one strum pattern, they do that the entire like 4 minutes of the song. They're just playing, and they're just following the groove of the song. So there's no one pure like strict like strum pattern for the song. But I think a nice place for you to start though would be the bum, 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 bum. Also too, if you ever need help with the strum patterns during the week, you just have your mom shoot me over a message and I can just record a quick video on the rhythm of it. It might even be good for you to bring in your phone or tablet or whatever, and you can record me in the lesson playing the rhythms of these pieces. Everyone asks me all the time to do it, especially my adult students. We'll usually spend like the last 2 or 3 minutes of a lesson of me playing through everything they're supposed to work on, and then that way you have something to review during the week. So if you want to bring your phone in or something, and you can record me playing these parts, that way you have them. Next thing, number 4, is the intro riff. It's the E7 shape. You kind of played around with it already. What we'll do is first we'll learn the riff, and then we'll talk about the tone of the riff. So remember in Suzuki, we would spend all that time talking about nail tone. Remember Mr. David showed you what it sounded like when you don't have proper nail tone. It's kind of like you're watching Avengers Endgame. You're watching it on a black and white TV. You're missing half of it is like the visuals, or more than half maybe, but. And the same thing holds true for rock guitar, is that we have to dial in the tone of these songs. So if I put on like a shred metal kind of tone on here and play the song, it's not going to fit, because that's not like what they're doing in the recording. There's a slight overdrive, I think, that we can dial in on your amp that'll be close, but they're using a tremolo effect put on here so you can hear. And you have it built in your amp, so you don't need to buy anything special. You already have this effect, and I'll show you how to dial that in. Tremolo is one of the oldest effects for the electric guitar. I think Duane Eddy used it in like the 50s and 60s, or no, in the 1960s. But basically, it just makes a swirling sound. If you listen to the song, you'll hear that kind of like swirly kind of like sound at the beginning. That's what it is. It's a tremolo pedal. And like I said, you have one built in. You actually have the same one that I have, since this is a Boss effect. So you get the E7 in shape. The pattern I've tabbed it out here, but I'll play through it for you. Is 6 5 1 2 3 1 volume string numbers. So 6, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. One more time. And up to speed. Look at that. And then back to the. And I'll put that in the looper. Let's see here. Where's that going? Oops. Clear that out. So it's playing the double diminished scale. Let's see here, let me clear that out. There we go. And then E minor pentatonic. Change scales. You do. You get the idea though. So what we'll do is we'll have you learn that the riff, and then I'll teach you how to put it inside your looper, and then that way you can practice soloing over top of that when we get to the recital and you and Evan and I play, and maybe Graham might play with us too. You met him for the last recital, or the one at the distillery. Him play percussion on the thing. That way you'll be able to be comfortably jamming on top of that tune. Cool. And then so the last thing is I want you to have Quiet ready for me for next time. That's the song that we did, the Pumpkins tune. The reason why I want you to finish it up for me is because we need to be working on your bars, right? That's our ultimate goal. In the chorus, what you got right there is a bar, or is a 2-string bar. So it's important for us to get that tune all finished up. That way we can move on to 3 and 4-string bars, and ultimately to the full bar. Get that tune down for me. If you need the tabs, just let me know. I think I gave it to you. I think it was the first lesson we did with the electric guitar. Get that tune down for me. Other thing too is good job on bum 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. That beginning part is tricky. The picking part. The intro picking part. I can't remember the exact note, but I think that's just the technique of it. I'll teach you how to do that to keep that more regular, more even. We'll talk about your picking technique. But good job on that though. Cool, man. Like I said, any questions for me, let me know. If not, I will see you same time next time.